Hey everybody, welcome back to Get Rothmeyered. I'm back in the same place as the last episode, at least the same parking place. I showed you kind of where I walked there. All right, here's the spot. Sun's going down. I forgot what time it is. It's well before 4, but it's just down past the mountain, so it's still up. Some places, moon's out. I don't know if you can see that or not. And this is just a cool spot. Just wide open. In the summertime, the sun goes down like right there. It's really, really nice. And this could be, just such a great little summertime gravel bar, sandbar, what have you. We're high up. You see all the moss there. You know that water's not coming up all the way here, except for every once in a great while. Up to here, probably, during high water. And then, but again, in summer, and when it's not super high water, flood water, have a nice beach here to hang out on. And, I'm just kind of stoked on finding this place. I need to time myself on the next run up there. Is the gear. This is the first trip. I'm going to empty out that tote and bring back a little more wood and my sleeping bag. And I think I will be set. Oh, and the toilet. I'm going to set up the toilet up in the trees there somewhere. That's all I got. It's nice. Oh, and you can see it's all frosty. It never thawed today because it never got above freezing. Even though it's like, it's probably 3:30-ish, I think. And, it's just pretty. It's gorgeous, actually. I just love these frosted up branches and little frosty sections. It's cool. Yeah, this is all just frosted up. Love it. Oh, I don't know if you could hear that, but there's a bird up there. And I want to say, it sounds like an osprey. Not too far from here, I saw an osprey with a fish in its talons, and an eagle came and snatched it from it. Like it just came and attacked it, and the osprey dropped it, and then the eagle grabbed it midair. Oh gosh, that was something. That was a really nice nature segment. I wish I would have been recording. There he is. Yep. Although, I don't think that's an osprey. Jason Rothmeyer, tell me what kind of bird that was. You heard it. That was perched up in that tree. I need to get a telephoto lens and maybe one of those dish things with you hold the dish up with the microphone in the middle of it so you can record sounds. Oh man, I hope you can hear that. Whoa. We're in the upside down world. Nobody knows what's going on. Alright, it was kind of funny. I was having a hard time videoing and then saying what time it was. Got this Garmin watch here that I just got, so it's 4:52 now. Got everything here to the site. It's dropping, like the temperature's definitely dropping with that sun going down behind the mountains anyway. And, so I'm gonna get a fire going, just like I did last time. We're gonna use the repurposed packing stuff. It's got these nice pullers in it, just light packing paper with the little cotton ball soaked in Vaseline. Oh, and this is a particular, I know there's a certain, what do you call it? A group of people or a tribe of people? I don't know, whatever. Anyway, that like this type of lighter. I'm not part of that group. But this works really well for getting in there and not burning your fingers. It's almost like a pipe lighter. And I used that for a long time. It's just a regular pipe lighter that lit from the side instead of straight up. And so, yeah, it's just a nice, convenient way of getting that in there without taking one of those great big old lighters. You know, it's pretty light and pretty easy to go. I always carry two different kinds. So I mean, I always have like a waterproof thing with matches in it and a lighter, just as a backup. Again, we're dispersed camping. We're not too far from the car, so again, whatever. I have extras in the car. This is an easy deal. But yeah, if you're farther out, you definitely don't want to, you know, have your lighter fail and not have another way to go. All right, so I apologize for the audio in the last one. I'm still working it out. I got to get that mic in the right spot. Note to self. That didn't work. It's really cold. And again, just like last time, there's just a lot of moisture in the air. And so I'm going to up it a little bit with a receipt and 2 of the fire starters. And let's see if we can get this thing going. No. So, love the Gerber axe. It's well used. And I stole it from my wife. She got it for for her bachelorette party before we got married. And then I just use it all the time. I lost a little saw that goes in there. Sorry, babe. I'm one of the worst. Not the worst, but I'm one of the worst. When it's... Man. Maybe I'll take this off and see. When it's this cold, yeah, fires, again, they can just be really finicky and you can have a hard time getting them going. So I'm kind of babying it and add some smaller kindling to the top there and get a core going. All right, we got her going. And as you can see, I kind of dug a hole there. So again, on these trips where you can bring it, I got this brand. It's called a Fobachi. It's just kind of... There we go. Fobachi. Little collapsible shovel. It's just like a military style, but it's small. It's really small. It's not super light, but really useful, you know, for doing that kind of thing. Like, you know, digging a hole for fire or digging a hole for the old toilet back there. We're drinking bourbon and Dr. Pepper. Sure, a little trashy, maybe, but we're going on the cheaper way. So no Campari, no sweet vermouth. for the camping juice today. Got the Helinox table going and the chair and the much needed Blancho. The Blancho happening. Farther back there, you see the tent spot. And when it gets down to the teens, especially, I really like to have one of these reflective ground covers to have my whole body on it for the most part. It makes a huge difference, it seems like to me. So, yeah, we'll be sleeping on that. No rain at all in the forecast, which is cool and rare here. So, yeah, it's getting to that point where my beard's starting to frost up a little bit. I got frost on the Blancho, frost all over the gear. It's getting down there. So it's a good thing I got the fire going. I'm gonna cozy up next to it and chill out with the Blancho behind me and put on my bigger down jacket. All right, so I I had to come back. Like, I'm setting up the tent, but I had to come back and make sure when it's this cold, you gotta tend the fire. So don't leave it. Plus, my hands were getting so cold from, I swear, tent poles at this temperature, they feel like colder than ice. It just seems impossible how cold they feel. So I'm going to finish setting up this tent and then go back and keep the fire burning. It's like Kenny Loggins. Deep stuff, anybody remember that? It's a good one. All right, so I said I was going to do some stuff about getting Rothmeyered, defining it, right? My watch is making a bunch of noise. What the heck's going on? I don't know. 7:30 now. Heating up some dinner. And I just want to talk about what does it mean to get Rothmeyered. My first thought is my dad, Jim Rothmeyer, brought me up camping and often would undersell. He'd oversell it, but he would underestimate how hard the trip was. And so then, you, as a kid, and he's just taken us out like he should. He did a great job. Such a great job. It's the reason why I love getting out here, is because he made it happen. And, we would just go on some longer hikes than maybe we were ready for, or I don't know, just as kids, we'd be complaining about it and just going like, man, this is too long. And I can't wait to interview him and actually my stepmom, Sally, about that. Like, whether it's Trail Gulch, which is in Northern California, just close to the border there. We spent a lot of time living in Ashland, and then that's where they met, and we did a lot of backpacking around there, and also just, off-roading, getting stuck, getting caught in rain or horrible weather situations. So that's a part of getting Rothmeyered. I've talked to some friends that are just like, oh, like, that's funny because it sounds like, you got Rothmeyered like it's some kind of sexual thing. And I just say, get your mind out of the gutter. It's not at all. It just has to do with, if you get Rothmeyered in a bad way, it just means that you were sold a bill of goods about how easy it was to get there and how awesome it was going to be. And then you start going, if you've been Rothmeyered in that way, you get going and you're like, whoa, this is colder, brushier, harder, and just not what I was expecting. Anyway, my dad's guilty of doing that quite a bit. I am. My brother is. And maybe you are. I don't know. Have you taken people out and said, oh, this is super easy? or oh, you only need like this kind of footwear, and then you needed more. Um, so that's on the negative side of getting Rothmeyered. There's a positive side too. Like I've got a princess package. I have a friend Carol who, you know, later in life is getting into camping, and you know, me or my friends will help her set up her tent. She's totally capable, so you know, it's just like she just needs a little help for the first time. And but other than that, it's like I make sure there's tables and good food, and we didn't have to go too far, and all that sort of thing. So there's that kind of Rothmeyering too, where I'm just outfitting you in a way that makes it easy and makes it, you know, comfy, and maybe helping you out with some extra gear for certain things. Like this trip, you know, I'm by myself, but you know, I got a zero bag. It's an XXL Teton with felt lining, and it's I've never been cold in it. And also I use hand warmers, so I already busted open some, you know, just these hot hand warmers that I'm just keeping myself going here, and also keeping all my electronics running because if they get too cold, they'll stop. Just like if they get too hot, they'll stop too. But um, that's a key to being comfortable in this sort of situation. So if I were Rothmeyering somebody in this situation, this exact camping trip, you know, it'd mean like where I did to Will Lamphere, and we'll get an interview with him where I took him up and we're snow camping and hiked way into Blue Lake where you couldn't get to it. Normally it's a short hike, but you couldn't get there. And he borrowed my sleeping bag, but he's about 2.5, 3 inches taller than me. And my 6.0 bag did not work well for him because he couldn't get his shoulders all the way in. And it was about this cold, probably in the teens, I want to say, somewhere around there. And he had a miserable night, and I Rothmeyered him hard on that trip. I can't wait for you guys to hear about that one from his mouth. It'll be a good one. So anyway, yeah, that's just the beginning of defining getting Rothmeyered. Sometimes I Rothmeyer myself, you know, like where I think this is going to be easy, and then I get in there and it's not easy. I get too, like, I don't know, I could tear up my gear, you know, because it's too brushy, or you know, like I've jumped over a log and tore out the ass end of my my expensive waders, and I mean, there's things like that just sort of happen that, oh, it can make a trip difficult. But then other times, again, a good Rothmeyering, and that's kind of what I'm pitching as far as like, if you want to come out with me, I'll make sure it's a good one, not a bad one. Well, when I say make sure, I'll do my best. I'll do my best. But maybe you want to come out and have a real challenge. I don't know. Maybe we could hike too far. I've done that too. Just not much lately. While I'm on that subject too, I guess I'm 53 now. I'm not a thru hiker, or thru hiker. I mean, I'm not a, I don't know. I have never done the PCT or any of the Triple Crown, all that stuff. This whole thing is more getting out to a place where nobody else is. Like, nobody's out here. So that's what I'm going for. Solitude, making your whole camp experience feel like it's your own, and no one else is there. And that's not all the time. Of course, there's other places I go that are on trail and that sort of thing. But most of this is off trail, and or such a trip that just makes so much sense to do that is on trail. And I mean, I don't know, in my like late teens through my 20s, I did plenty of like 14 night trips and 7 night trips and all that sort of thing, loops, or I don't know, long ones where a lot of time I was dependent on, as far as food goes, I was depending on catching fish. Um, I've done plenty of hunting in Alaska, mostly. Um, I've hunted here unsuccessfully in Washington, but not too hard. I get a little spoiled in Alaska. You get to where like you just get used to things being well plentiful animals, and all that is. I thank my dad so much for taking me out there and doing that. But we'd spend 2 weeks out usually when we'd go hunting out there above the Arctic Circle, where there was moose, caribou, sheep. Always had a bear tag. Saw some bear, never shot a bear. Um, and that sort of that kind of thing too. Again, where I learned that from my dad. I mean, his form of Rothmeyering people, especially when we're flying a plane into a lake. There's a lake called Rothmeyer Pond that I got to get out to. I really want to do a show out there. It's just going to be expensive because you got to get a float plane out from Bettles, Alaska, and get dropped off. But we do like 2 weeks minimum, and then sometimes you had to spend more time if weather was bad and the float planes won't come in. So you're getting Rothmeyered in the sense that you're like, oh man, I'm spending more time than I wanted to here, but the planes won't fly. So what are you going to do? You're just stuck there. Hopefully you have enough extra top ramen or whatever else it is we had for emergency food, and maybe we got to shoot something to eat to keep comfortable. Anyway, we're never anywhere near really being in trouble. But well, I don't know about not being anywhere near being in trouble, but yeah, that's a tough one. We'll have to see. Let's see what other people have to say about this, and I'm going to get after that real soon. And if you're watching this and you've been Rothmeyered by me, or my son Gabriel, or my dad, or my wife, even, message me, and I want to come and make a plan to do an interview and just see how you got Rothmeyered. I look forward to that. Water bottle, I'm just trying to get it at least slightly warm. And I went and grabbed some water from the river, and I'm going to get it boiled. And I was going to get my water filter out, but if I leave the water filter out, if I leave it out all night, it's going to freeze, and that's not good for the filter. So I thought I'd just go, and I think the river water right now is probably fine, but I'll boil it anyway because it's double usage. So I'm bringing a hot water bottle to bed. Any amount of heat in a situation like this is nice. It's like you know. Some people even put a hot water bottle in their sleeping bag. I'm going to use those hot hands things. I got 2 more to open up, and I put 2 at my feet, and usually 2 up in my sort of like torso area, and that just helps take the edge off and keep some little hot pockets kind of things throughout the night. And yeah, it just helps. Every little bit helps. And it is important to go to bed pre-warm. So like, I'm just gonna, this is the last of the firewood. And so once it's gone, I definitely need to go to bed. And, camping wise, it's like, it's not too early. It's past 8:30. So, and it's been dark for a pretty long time. And, yeah, we'll get up in the morning and I'm going to look around for a couple spots and a couple other projects I want to do. And we'll hopefully check that out tomorrow. So good night, all. Smell the flashing crystals. Flashing crystals. It's like a winter wonderland. All right. In the tent. We're in the Kelty. This thing's over 9 years old. It's been ridden really hard. I mean, really. I use it as a 4-season tent. It's rated as a 3, but I don't know. It closes up pretty good in weather like this, and you can see it's frosty. I don't know. Maybe you can see that. I don't know. It's frosty out there. But it closes up pretty well, and it'll warm up. And I forget what it is. I think it's a Rock You Like a Hurricane. Kelty Rock You Like a Hurricane. No, they don't have that. But they should. Hey, Kelty, make a tent called Rock You Like a Hurricane. You know, just a little Scorpions action. No, it's a TN3. I don't know what TN stands for, but it's a 3-person tent, and I have been using it like crazy. And so I can put all my stuff in here. I put my boots in when they're clean enough, and I'm trying out these Outdoor Research booties. I'm starting out with like a lot of layers in my Teton bag. It's rated to 0, and then also, the other really key thing, my back is killing me, by the way. Too many kegs. I've just been moving too many kegs for too many years. So these heater deals, and I have another pack I'm gonna open, and we're gonna definitely go to sleep here soon. And hope. Well, I'm not hoping. I know it will. It's gonna warm up once I get in that bag and get it going. All right. Good night for reals.